Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you're really passionate about brewing, you've probably spent countless hours dialing in your grind size or, obsessing over the perfect water temperature. But today, we're looking at a variable that goes totally overlooked by so many people: geometry. The physical shape of your coffee dripper doesn't just hold the filter, it literally rewrites the chemistry of your cup. All right, kicking things off with section 1, the secret. We really need to start with a fundamental puzzle that sits right at the heart of our morning routines. Think about this for a second. Why do identical beans taste completely different? Imagine you're brewing the exact same beans, same roast, same origin, same farm, the whole shebang. Yet, if you pour them through two different devices, the final result in the cup is entirely distinct. How in the world does the exact same ingredient yield such vastly different results? Well, the ultimate secret dictating that final taste isn't actually the bean itself. It's the water speed. It's this massive, absolutely crucial cause and effect relationship. A really fast flow of water yields a bright, highly acidic cup of coffee, while a slow, lingering flow results in something heavy and sweet. And the physical shape of the dripper literally controls the speed, manipulating the extraction process and determining exactly which flavor compounds make it into your mug. Moving right along to section 2, V60, fast and crisp. Let's take a closer look at the famously popular Hario V60. The V60 features a highly specific anatomy. We're talking about a super steep cone shape that leads straight down to one massive hole at the very bottom. And these geometrical features, they are entirely by design. They create a unique, highly open environment for the brewing water to pass through, effectively removing all physical barriers. Because of that steep cone and the huge single hole, the dripper offers almost zero physical resistance. The source material actually describes the water here as being in a continuous free fall through the coffee grounds. Gravity just takes complete control, and the water rushes right through without anything holding it back. Because the water is moving so incredibly fast through that open geometry, it fundamentally alters the chemical extraction. This rapid pass pulls out the brightest, most acidic notes from the beans, leaving those heavier compounds behind. So what you get in the cup is a crisp, light-bodied coffee that boasts just incredible flavor clarity. It's zippy, it's energetic, and it highlights those sharp, fruity notes perfectly. But, as you might guess, there is a catch to that open design. With no built-in resistance, the open V60 demands extremely precise manual pouring from you, the brewer. You have to physically control the speed of the water with your kettle. Pour too fast, and the water just drops right through, under-extracted. The responsibility of the extraction speed falls entirely on your technique. Putting these ideas side by side creates a really stark mechanical contrast when we look across the coffee landscape. On one side, we have the V60 with zero physical resistance. On the other, we have devices like the Kalita Wave, which utilize a built-in bottleneck. Let's see how this complete opposite approach builds a totally different cup of coffee, using the exact same beans. Which brings us nicely to section 3, Kalita, slow and sweet. Let's slow things down a bit and examine the Kalita Wave. The Kalita Wave completely changes the rules of the brewing environment. Instead of a steep cone and a large open hole, it relies on a flat bottom base, punctured by 3 tiny holes. It's a totally different architectural approach to holding the coffee grounds and water. These specific features, the flat bottom and those tiny little holes, act together as a physical bottleneck. The source points out that this puts a strict speed limit on the water. The water simply cannot rush through in a continuous freefall. Instead, it's trapped. It's forced to dwell and steep with the coffee grounds for a much longer period of time. And this extended dwell time, it rewrites the extraction process entirely. Because the water sits with the grounds longer, it has the time to pull out deeper, much more complex sugars from the coffee. The result is a sweeter, more comforting cup with a much heavier body compared to the V60. It feels richer, denser, and just entirely different on the palate. But here is the really crucial point for your everyday routine. Because the Kalita has that built-in bottleneck restricting the flow, the technique required is incredibly forgiving. Honestly, even if you haven't had your caffeine yet and your pouring isn't perfectly precise, the dripper itself regulates that speed limit. The Kalita does the heavy lifting for you. Let's wrap this up with section 4, the barista's final choice. How does this all apply in the real world? If we synthesize this entire chemistry equation, the comparison is just mind-blowing. The V60 gives us this fast, free-fall water speed, resulting in a bright, crisp profile, but it really demands precise pouring. Conversely, the Kalita Wave creates a slow, bottleneck speed, yielding a sweet, heavy flavor while being super forgiving in technique. The exact same coffee bean can go in two completely different directions based entirely on geometry. This brings us to a really powerful realization. A dripper's choice reveals the desired flavor. When a barista selects a specific dripper from the shelf, they aren't just grabbing whatever happens to be closest. They are intentionally using that geometry as a mechanical tool to tell you exactly what flavor profile they intend to highlight from those specific beans. Which leaves us with this final thought. What flavor is your barista highlighting today? Next time you order a pour-over, pay close attention to the shape of the dripper they reach for. Will it be the steep cone of a V60 for something bright and crisp? Or maybe the flat bottom of a Kalita for something heavy and sweet? It is not just a brewing tool. It's the actual science of water speed at work. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it completely changes how you view your next cup of coffee.